Welcome to Conversations about Crohn's and Colitis. I'm your host, Sonya Goins. Today my guests are Jill Love and her daughter Aria. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Now, they both live in Brooklyn Park, and Jill helps to facilitate the Crohn's Colitis support group, and Aria has colitis. Tell us about what that's like.
So it doesn't really bother me. It's like it doesn't really matter unless I have like a flare up, but it's
Tell folks what it was like when you were first diagnosed, though.
when I was first diagnosed, it was kind of scary because like I didn't know what was going on, and I was little, and it was kind of confusing.
It was hard for you too to watch your daughter. Can you explain like what it was like to see her go through that?
Yeah, it was. It's definitely been difficult, and the last 7 years with her disease and everything she's gone through, it's really hard to watch her be sick. And you know, people will comment on her size or things like that. And I mean, if anyone knows anything about these diseases, I mean, she's in the bathroom a lot, and so usually if she's eating, then she's in the bathroom, and so she can't keep a lot of weight on, and so it's really hard to watch her, you know, go through life struggling at certain times, because it definitely gets heartbreaking.
Yeah, and she's had several surgeries too.
Yeah, so she was diagnosed at 5 with ulcerative colitis, and then at the age of 7, she had her colon and rectum removed because the disease was so bad in there, and then they made a J pouch out of her small intestine, and sometimes even now she'll get infections in that J pouch called pouchitis, and they treat it with antibiotics, which then can trigger C. diff, which she is currently battling C. diff right now.
So a J pouch is basically a makeshift pouch, and C. diff is a bacterial disease that often affects like the normal public, but when you have inflammatory bowel disease, it could be frightening and sometimes even fatal. To know that as a parent, what does that do to you?
It puts you on high alert to everything around her, every place she goes, and it makes you feel like there is nothing else you can do, and you just have to let things go. But it's so hard to do that. But it definitely makes us aware of, you know, where she's using the restroom at home and things like that. Because I have 2 other kids that, you know, you have to keep it sanitized and stuff like that so that they don't get C. diff as well.
Now, a lot of folks don't talk about the mental aspects of these diseases. Mentally, what does that do to you to know that, you know, this is something that you can't deal with to help your daughter?
Mentally, it's a lot. This week especially has been really difficult for me. She was sick at the beginning of the week, and then we got the diagnosis that she has C. diff at the end of the week, and it's just been mentally a lot. Thank God I have a great support system that reach out and let me know that they're there for them. And sometimes when I'm going through this with her, I forget that I have that support system because I get so wrapped up in trying to help her or trying to figure out what I can do to make things better that I forget that there are people still out there that are supporting me too.
Now, Jill also helped to start the pediatric group for the Crohn's Colitis Foundation Minnesota Dakota chapter. Why did you feel the need to do this?
When Aria was diagnosed, there was no pediatric support group, and so I felt alone. I spent so many nights Googling her disease and symptoms and all kinds of different things that I always felt alone. And so there was an adult support group that her and I attended, and it was good. It gave me a lot of insight, but it also was not the same as having a child with this disease. And I still wanted to be able to connect with people who were in my same situation, going through and experiencing the same emotions and feelings that I was having. And so when the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation started this group, the pediatric group, there were like 3 of us around the table for two years. And now, as of recently, we have like 25 to 30 different families that show up every month. So it's grown, and it's been great.
Wow. Well, support is key. You guys, your family was also in the news like a couple of years ago over an incident at a business in New Hope, right?
Correct, yes. Aria was newly diagnosed, and we were walking by a business, and she had to use the restroom. And with these diseases, when you have to use the restroom, you have to use the restroom. It's not like, oh, she can hold it, or we need to find someplace else. So we stopped into a business, and they refused to let us use the restroom. And even after I showed my I can't wait card, they still hemmed and hawed and didn't let us. And so I just ended up taking her back because it was to save her embarrassment and things like that of having an accident right there in their lobby.
Wow. She was little, so she probably doesn't remember much. But as a mom, did it anger you? How did you feel?
Yeah, I felt like it. I mean, it's a bathroom. I mean, for them to not let us use it, I was more like shocked. Like, are you kidding me? One, it's a child and has to use the bathroom, and two, it's a bathroom. Like, it's not like I was trying to, get anything out of the business or anything like that. It was literally just trying to use the restroom.
Yeah, and a lot of folks don't know that Minnesota is one of a few states that has this law, and businesses are required to let you use their bathroom, even if they have a sign that says, no public bathroom. So we'll have more information on our website about that. But also, folks do not know that a lot of the medicines that are used to treat inflammatory bowel disease are very expensive. Can you tell, have you guys had to encounter any problems?
So we've been lucky. When she was using Remicade and Humira and things like that, it was always a fight to get the insurance company to pay for them. But with the doctors and the nurses' help, we finally would get it paid for. But yeah, it's a struggle. And I know Remicade and Humira both have programs that help families get it for cheaper, but it shouldn't be this hard of a fight for insurance companies who don't deal with these diseases to tell us or dictate to us like, oh, your child doesn't need that, try something else.
Right, and actually there was new legislation just passed. In Minnesota there was a program called step therapy, and basically that meant that patients had to try lesser drugs, like 3 lesser drugs, before they were approved the first more expensive drug that their doctor really wanted them to take. But January 1st, that all changes, and patients will no longer have to do that step therapy treatment. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, because I know when we started, they always gave us a little triangle of the different drugs and it was like you started at the bottom and you worked your way up to the higher, more expensive ones.
Which is a pain, because you all that whole time you're sick. You're
Yep.
trying to do that. No, I know Aria has also participated in Camp Oasis.
She has.
So Camp Oasis is a special camp for kids that have ulcerative colitis or either Crohn's. Tell us about your experience there.
I love Camp Oasis. It's my favorite thing to do in the summer. I'm always really excited for it. Yeah.
Well, I know. Tell me about some of the things you do, because I saw you playing like kickball and different things.
There's a lot of different things you can do. My favorite is Gaga Ball.
What is Gaga Ball?
Oh my God. So you're in this like pit thing with wood chips, and there's a ball, and you bounce it 3 times, Gaga Ball, and then on ball you have to hit it, but like you have to hit it at people below their knees to get them out, and you want to be the last person to get out. So.
Oh, does it really help to be around other people that have the same condition as you?
Yeah, because like if you have a question about something, you can just ask them. And like me and my friend were talking about it. We were talking about Humira and how she didn't care for it, but I did, and I hated it. So we were talking about that, and yeah.
Does it make you feel like you can like share secrets and stuff and no one's judging you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you guys joining us today. We'll have more information on this. Thanks for watching Conversations about Crohn's and Colitis.